For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingeman. Glad to have you along. We've got two very nice young ladies with us to start the program. Miss Deb Johnson, nice to see you, from St. Clair County Community Mental Health.
Always good to see you.
And from Mid CityNutrician, the world famous Alice Reeves.
Thank you,
nice
Paul.
to see you.
Good to see
Welcome
you.
back to the show, ladies. This
Thank
is
you.
your first time on the new set.
Yes. Beautiful.
And we got
Yes.
lots of color and brightness and pictures of Marine City and St. Clair, and we're going to have fun here. So we're glad we're finally through all the construction phases. And Alice, you've been down here, and I've had you on 2 or 3 different sets since we had the big move. So
Yes.
welcome. We are here today to talk once to you and also to you this time about empty bowls, but then you're going to come back and talk about St. Clair County Community Mental Health. So we got lots of information for our viewers.
Lots of good stuff.
Alice, empty bowls.
Empty bowls.
2020.
2020, our 17th year.
I was going to say 17.
17 years, yes.
Marvelous.
They typically run 3 to 5 years.
Oh,
Yeah. We're just very fortunate. This community, I've said it a million times, is so generous.
And loves this event. I
Yes.
mean, we've so oversold we accommodate everybody, but we've sell so many tickets every year. It's just a great event, and people love to come to it. And we have great soups. Alice probably knows the soups this year. I don't know the soup choices.
how to get started?
John Conyer from
The
St.
congressman?
St. Stephen's Church
Okay.
brought the idea to Terry Kruger.
Oh, okay.
And Terry Kruger said, we should try that, let's do it. But it was originally started in Oxford, Michigan in the 1980s by a group of high school teachers that wanted to bring the idea out to the public that hunger in your community is just as prevalent as it is anywhere else.
That's so true.
And so they started it in the 1980s, and it is now a worldwide event.
Just amazing.
Yeah,
How
it is.
things one person can, again and again you hear it, one person can really influence the world.
That's right.
That's true.
And in Oxford, Michigan, where is Oxford, Michigan?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you picked it up 17 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we're holding it always at Mid CityNutrician in the beginning? Or never?
No, never,
at
actually.
Mid City. Our first year was at Woodland School. We were there 1 year. We outgrew it the first year. We spent 4 years, Deb, at Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Yeah.
We outgrew that. We spent the last 11 years at St. Stephen's Catholic Church, and we outgrew that actually 3 years ago. And every year, Kevin, the maintenance man, would say, I hope the fire marshal doesn't come in, because if he comes in, we're going to be in trouble. We knew we needed a bigger venue, but we didn't want a venue that we had to pay for because everything is donated.
Yes.
So Deb and those guys went out last year and found Colonial Woods Missionary Church at
Great facility.
3240 Pine Grove Avenue, and it's going to be big enough.
It is a great facility. I mean, it's huge, and even there's 2 entryways to come in. There's tons of parking, near the building, and we'll have the ticket taking right when you walk in, ticket selling, but then we'll have auction items all through the very large hallway, and then even the seating in the area, where you'll eat your soup and stuff is much larger. So that's all going to be great. So yeah, we're looking forward to having it at that new big venue. And also the people there have been so gracious about giving it to us for free, offering to help us. Their congregation is probably going to be supporting us, I'm sure. And
They got a huge congregation.
Oh, they do.
And so we probably can sell millions of tickets. And
Oh, I love it.
I know.
I know.
And speaking of those, they're for sale right now.
Okay.
All over the place.
Let's talk about bowls. How
Okay.
did the tradition of making bowls locally get started?
We just went out, and Terry Kruger went out and found a lot of potters. We have 18 different potters. The bowls that you see here
Right.
have all come from Riverview East High School.
From the high school itself.
From Riverview East High School.
Jason Steyer and his crew.
And Jason is now the high school principal,
Yeah.
and Twyla Waite is the teacher.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that Twyla hand painted that bowl that you have in your hand.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
It is. It's
Yep.
beautiful. I love it.
There. Isn't that
A
something?
lot of new, different colors this year. The kids experimented with a lot of
It says
them.
BR5.
Yep. B5 Willow Estates Pottery. So he
These are
must
great.
have aspirations of being his own little
Yeah.
pottery
Yeah.
place, because the kids did all these bowls.
Well, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
So I go on the 26th between 4:30 and 7, and I buy my ticket and I walk in and I get a bowl.
First thing you do is get a bowl.
Okay.
Yep. You get to pick one out.
I can get a small one, I can get a big one, whatever I want.
Or you can get a thrown bowl, because the Woodturners Association has offered us 42 bowls this year.
But you better get there early. for
Yeah,
those.
because
Yeah,
those
those
are
are
very, very
beautiful.
fast. Yes.
They are very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So you get your
okay,
bowl.
so I get my bowl.
Yep.
And I either wood or this type.
Yep.
And I go in and I see how many different kinds of soup.
Well, first you're going to start looking. You can see
At
silent
the silent
auction.
auction.
Oh, okay,
items.
okay.
All the way
Yes.
through.
Bring
Oh,
my
yes.
checkbook and bring
That's
cash.
right.
Bring cash,
That's
or bring your charge card,
Yeah.
because we
Right.
can take everything.
Okay.
But, there will be a lot of silent auction items. And speaking of that, if anybody would like to donate an item, we are still accepting donations for the silent auction. Things like gift certificates, baskets. Booze baskets typically do go well. Food baskets.
Trip basket.
Trip baskets.
baskets.
All kinds of things. Easter things, because this year it's before Easter.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Because one year it was last year I think it was after. But anyways, things like that go really well, and any value we would appreciate. So
Okay.
yeah, and those can be dropped off at Mid CityNutrician.
Yep.
Okay. Anytime before the 26th.
Anytime before the 26th. you can call.
Preferably a lot before, like at
Yeah.
least like 5 days, because we have to make bid slips for everything. So we wouldn't turn anything away, no matter when it showed up. But it's easier for us
Right.
that are coordinating the silent auction to get all that stuff, to know what we have
Yep.
to work with. So yeah, the sooner the better.
Okay.
So you'll look at all the silent auction items, and then we're going to try a new process this year.
All right.
A lot of kids from the YAC.
Yep.
The Youth Advisory Council, they're donating or volunteering their time there.
Community Foundation.
Yep, and so they would take your order. Like they'll tell you what kind of soups we're going to have,
Okay.
and then you'll go select your seat. They'll know where you're going to sit. They'll go get your soup and bring it to you.
Oh, great.
So you don't have to. We're trying to avoid the big lineup that we've had in the past. So we'll see how that works this year. I'm sure some people will bypass our system, but we'll work with that.
They like standing in the line.
Some people like to stand in the
yeah.
line.
Stand in line and talk.
And talk,
Oh,
that's
hi,
right.
Betty. Haven't seen you since
Right.
last year.
Yeah, that's right. And that's exactly what happens.
So we're trying that new system. So we'll see.
Is there carry out?
There will be carry out. There will be.
So I love my first bowl of soup, and I'm going, wait a minute, I'm going to get some more to take home.
Yep, that's great.
And do I have to pay another admission price or another ticket price?
No, actually, the $25 that you pay for the ticket pays for the bowl.
Okay.
Dinner is basically free.
Okay.
If you went to a Potter and to the fair or anything, that bowl would cost you $25
Right.
at least.
Right.
Easily, and then some of the potters. Those are the student bowls, and they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's also professional potters. Deb Maxwell's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know all the names.
Sally Haas,
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Juliette Fabiar.
And you'll pay more than $25 for those
Yes.
bowls.
But they're happy to do it.
Yes,
Oh,
they're
they love it. Oh, yes.
And
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
they've donated every year, and they have beautiful work. So
All right, Alice, we've got your webpage up on the back here.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about, give us an ad for Mid City Nutrition. What is Mid City Nutrition? I've just moved to the community. I've never ever heard of it.
Mid City Nutrition is the only full-time soup kitchen in St. Clair County.
Okay.
We're located right now at 805 Chestnut Street in Port Huron in the basement of St. Martin Lutheran Church. Our telephone number is 982-9261. We serve meals 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
7 days a week. Monday through Saturday, we serve lunch, a full meal from 11 till noon. Sunday night through Friday night, we serve dinner from 4 till 5. That's a bowl of soup, a sandwich. They've started adding salad or fruit salad, a dessert, and coffee. Last year we served 55,085 meals to 1,058 individuals.
Oh my God. Oh my God, it's a staggering number.
It is, it is.
And just in our county.
Just in our county. And people, even though it's in Port Huron, people come to Port Huron because that's where the doctors are. That's where the hospitals are. That's where the transportation is. That's where community mental health and all of those services are. So everything is located in in Port Huron. And we'll have people that come in for the day from downriver. They'll come in from St. Clair. They come in from Fort Gratiot. And if they have money to get there, but they don't have money to eat, they'll come down and have lunch.
Marvelous service, and it's truly been a labor of love for you.
It certainly has.
I
love it.
So they tried to get rid of you once, but they
did, but it did. I'm like a bad penny. I keep coming back, Paul. You know that.
Hey, can we tell you about another thing related to this?
Absolutely.
Okay, you can also be a sponsor of the event.
Oh, okay.
And we have sponsors that range from $100 to $1,000. The deadline for sponsorship is coming up. It's March 1st. Although, again, I can't see us turning away any money.
Oh, no.
But to get on all of our, all of our materials that we're developing, if we could know by March 1st, the sponsors.
Who do they contact? You or Mid City?
No, they contact. For that, they contact Mid City.
Yeah,
correct?
they do.
So that they could call 982-9261. And don't just make the donation on there if you want to sponsor. You can make donations on the website, but if you want to be a sponsor for this event, call Mid City, talk to them, tell them how much you want to sponsor, and we'll take it from there.
Sounds great. So if you're an early person on income tax, you could take your income tax refund.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect.
Put it towards nutrition.
That's a great idea. Help people in the community.
That's right.
And actually, I think this week is this. Oh, I don't know when this is going to air. I always do this. Sorry.
We're going to air it this coming weekend.
Oh, okay. Well, the second week in February or third week in February is like National Pay It Forward. Kindness, all that stuff.
Okay.
So think about that because a lot of us, even if you don't have a ton, a lot of us who are able to give. I mean, we should give because there's so many people in our community that don't have nearly enough, and especially, the basics like food, clothing, shelter, those things that people need. And if we can help out, you feel good about yourself if you can help other people. At least I do.
Yep.
This is the bowl. This is one of them, and you can get one of many different kinds of bowls. March the 26th, 4:30 to 7 at Colonial Woods Missionary Church. Any final thoughts?
How about where you can get tickets?
You can get tickets at Mid CityNutrician. 982-9261. You can get them at
Say that again and slow it down.
982-9261.
Thank you.
You can get them at weekends downtown Port Huron.
Fun place.
Or you can go on to Eventbrite and get them.
Or you could get them from Deb Johnson because I have 25 in my car.
Oh my God.
So
people be following you around.
Yeah, and I'll get more if I run out of that 25.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of people that sell. And at CMH, we have a couple other people that have them on hand. So if somebody showed up there and wanted them, they could just let us know that.
Very good. March 26th.
March 26th. Thank you, Paul.
Your
it's always
bowls
a pleasure.
flow over or some kind of wonderful statement.
We're hoping so.
We're going to take a short break, and then by popular demand, Deb Johnson's coming back. Be right back.
These are from the students at...
Welcome back, and welcoming back also for a second time this show is Ms. Deb Johnson. Welcome to back to the set. We had a short little break there.
Thanks.
Freshened our
I'm
coffee.
happy to be here. Yep, freshened our coffee. It's delicious.
Right. You always have some very important messages for people from when you come on the show here. And St. Clair County Community Mental Health has served how many years for St. Clair County?
Well over 50, and I don't know the exact number, but over 50
Wonderful.
years.
And you've seen the agency grow from, I think there was a young fellow by the name of Mike McCartan.
And he wasn't even the first director. There was a few others before him, but he certainly was the longest serving director.
But the agency was pretty small at that point.
When he first became the director, yes, and then it has grown over time, and it's grown. We're the biggest we've ever been right now.
And how many people do you serve around figures every month, every year?
Well, yearly over 5,000, and our numbers are climbing rapidly because of the new funding that we received, which is called the CCBHC, which stands for Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic funding. It's federal funds from SAMHSA, which is the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration out of Washington. So with that extra money, we've been able to open up our access to services. So we are now serving people in the past who might have said, yeah, I tried to get services and they denied me. Well, previously you had to have Medicaid, you had to meet the mental health code definitions for a severe and persistent mental illness or a developmental disability. And if for substance use disorder, you had to have substance use disorder and a mental illness. Now, you can just have a substance use disorder and call us up. We will provide services, and you can have Blue Cross insurance, and we'll take that. We'll bill your insurance. If you have a copay, you'll pay your copay. But so we can take private insurances now. We can take people that are not quite as severe as in the past. So that's a great thing for the community, because there's a lot of people that have fallen through the cracks for one reason or another.
How do I know I should come to see you?
Well, I guess it's different for everybody, but depending on what your issues are, if you're having any concerns about any mental health type things, whether if it's substance use, if people are suggesting you are either drink too much, if it's alcoholism, if you're using opioids or other drugs, illegal drugs, things like that, and you feel like you can't stop on your own, that would be a reason to call our access, which is 888-225-4447. Or in terms of things like if you're feeling depressed or just not right, or obviously things like hearing voices or things like that, that's very symptomatic. You can call us up. If you're not sure, call us up. Call us up and talk to our access staff, tell them what's going on, and they will guide you in the right direction.
Listen.
Yep.
They're trained to listen.
They're trained to listen, and they will guide you in the right direction.
Okay. Always something going on. What's happening this month in March, end of February, first part of March?
So I'll talk about March. Upcoming for March is it's Intellectual Developmental Disability Awareness Month. March was proclaimed that by President Ronald Reagan in 1987 when he was the president. And the purpose of, I think, that proclamation was he wanted to raise awareness about intellectual disabilities and developmental disabilities, and they're two different things that I'll explain in a minute, and highlight the abilities of folks that, because we try not to say about focus on the disability, but folks that have either intellectual or developmental disabilities have lots of abilities and strengths. I wanted to say two words at once.
Right.
That reminded me of who used to do that, Sonny Elliott or George Perot or somebody, I don't know. But anyways, a lot of strengths and things like that. And it's a time to increase people's awareness about those things, because a lot of times the stigma that is associated with any behavioral health issues is often stems from ignorance, not knowing or understanding.
Correct.
And
communication.
Yeah, and nobody chooses to have, whether it's a mental illness, a developmental disability, addiction, disease, things like that. It happens. It just happens to people for different reasons. Sometimes it's genetic, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's how your brain is made up. So there's a lot of factors that influence that. So we should not stigmatize people that suffer from any of those things. We should offer help and support and things like that, just like you would when somebody gets diagnosed with cancer or
a broken leg or whatever.
Broken leg, heart disease,
right.
Any of those things. So anyways, an intellectual disability is a person gets that diagnosis if they have cognitive impairment, which is IQ's typically under 70. So that's an intellectual disability. And then a developmental disability are things like autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, things like that. And one of the things, like a common myth, I guess, about like especially all three of those actually. People think if you have those, you automatically have the intellectual disability as well.
Right.
We have a person on our staff. She has cerebral palsy. She is a peer support specialist, and she has a college degree, and she has no cognitive impairment whatsoever. She has physical involvement.
But the stigma is
but
there.
there's a stigma. Somebody might see the way she walks a little different, or things like that.
Got to be something wrong with her.
Yeah, and there's not.
Right.
So not at all. And same for Down syndrome. We've talked before about the range of IQs can be, from very low to normal IQs. There are people that have graduated high school, college, etc. with Down syndrome. Actually, I just heard a good fact about that. Now I forgot the fun fact. Darn it. But anyways, I always like to reference Corky from that old show, Life Goes On.
Yep.
He had Down syndrome, and he was an actor, a professional actor.
Remembered his lines and did all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and actually we got to meet him here in Port Huron because he came and gave a talk for us in the month of March years ago. But anyways, so that's the purpose of the month. Through Community Mental Health, we have an autism support group, and Pat Gillard is our staff person that helps facilitate that. And then there is also a Down syndrome support group in our community, and Kelly DiNardo is the person that helps facilitate that. But for information on either group, you could visit our website.
We got your website up on the screen back here, and throw it up on the full screen there for us now. So, and what is the web address?
It is SCCCMH.org. So St. Clair County Community Mental Health.org.
Okay,
so
and it's a good-looking website. And
it is a nice-looking website. We also have a Facebook page. People can check us out there. But some of the stuff I'm talking about, you'll find more information on the website. So what else were we going to say about that? Oh, so you can, about those groups, you can find out about that on our website. There's some of our contests.
St. Patrick there.
Yeah, do you know why?
No.
The reason that is on there is because that is a promotion for the Leprechaun Loop for the YMCA.
Oh, yes, we were going to mention about that.
We were, so that's a great segue, Paul. So the Blue Water Race Series, this is the inaugural year, 2020, for this event. And in fact, it was when I was coming on your show one day a year ago, and I ran into and met for the first time Mike Grover and Brandy Smith, who were, I think, here on your show recently. And they were here promoting the Artful Dodger. And after they were done, I said, hey, any chance you guys would want to do a race series? And they said, yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we started meeting, and the next thing you know, we have 6 races involved. So the first one, if you want to participate in this series and receive completely free of charge an awesome jacket that says Blue Water Race Series. It will have our 3 premier sponsors on the back. You just have to compete in all 6 of them. Now, you might say, well, I'm not a runner. I'm not doing that. That's okay. You can walk.
Okay.
And there's different
You still get the jacket.
You still get the jacket. There's walk options. Some of them are 1 mile, 2 mile, or maybe it's the 5K that you need to walk. But that's only 3 miles. I mean, maybe it takes you, I don't know, it won't take you an hour.
Right.
But anyways, so that's a new cool thing we're doing this year. But you must participate in all 6 to get the jacket. You sign up for each race individually. But if you go to bwrs.enmotive.com. All the races are there. The links, you click on them and you can sign up. You don't have to do it all at once. You can do it, as you want to. And then if, let's say you're going to be out of town, you're going to miss one of them, and you think, oh, well, I came to the series. I'm going to be gone on the 4th of July, and that's the pick row one. Then you can sign up, and you click the virtual option. You still have to do whatever you sign up for. So let's say you sign up for the 5K, you run it virtually, you submit your time into NMotive, and then we know that you've participated in that race. And as long as you do all 6, you can do different events.
How do I run it virtually?
You will probably need to have like a Nike Run app or something like that on your phone, but there's instructions online.
Oh, okay.
One of the things, though, if you're a real serious runner, which I'm not, I like the social part of it, but if you're a serious runner, there are prizes for the top overall men and women, and so you get points based on your overall finish in the run. So you'd want to do consistently like 5Ks, but if you do one of them virtually, you're not eligible for you won't get points for it. I mean, if you score so high in the other 5, you might still win something.
Right.
But you don't get points for a virtual run because I'm sure nobody would ever do this, but you could like put it on your dog and they run fast, or you have it on while you're in the car and you're driving 10 miles an hour. I don't know. But anyways, so.
You have a very devious mind.
I'm sure nobody would do that, but at any rate, we want to keep it clean and fair and all that stuff. So that's a great thing. And we talk all the time about healthy minds, healthy bodies, which is Our run is called Healthy Minds, Healthy Bodies, CMH Run for Recovery, second race in the series, May 9th.
May 9th.
So,
okay.
but this is a great way.
We'll be back to talk about that too.
Right, but this whole series is a great way to just get out, start preparing, go, walk a mile a day, whatever. You will feel better. I mean, I run or walk a mile or more every day.
Marvelous.
And I feel better. I wasn't going to do it today because I was tired, but
it was
I
cold.
did it, and then I woke up. I felt more wide awake.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing.
All right, so now you got an award coming up for some celebrity that you and I mutually know and admire.
We do. We have. We're changing. I want to say this first. We're changing our annual recognition night. It was always the first Tuesday in May. It's an annual recognition event, and it's going to be a breakfast at the Convention Center on May 29th, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a great breakfast because Mike Moretz will be cooking it. It's going to be great. But anyway, so we always have an organization award, a community service award, and a media award.
Right.
I can't publicly reveal the organization award yet because I haven't gotten a hold of the organization.
Right.
But our community service award recipient is given to somebody who has done a lot to further our cause, the cause of community mental health, the mission, supports our mission vision, helps support what we do in this community. And a member of our management team recommended Mike McCartan. And I know, and I said, why didn't I think of that? Right. And because obviously he wouldn't win it when he was the director because that's the paid job of the director. Right. But he has been retired from CMH for about him and I were both trying to figure this out the other day, 7 or 8 years. And he continues to promote the cause. He does a lot in our community. He's still a member, one of the key members of our critical incident stress management team. He is very active in suicide prevention awareness initiatives. He chairs the Suicide Prevention Committee. He's doing a lot of things to continue to support the cause and promote the cause throughout the community. So for that, our board has selected him as the Community Service Award recipient. Yeah, he was excited about it. And then our media award this year, which you've won in the past. Right. Is going to Jackie Smith of the Times Herald.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah,
she's
done
a good
a lot
writer, very good writer, nice young woman.
And she's been doing a lot of coverage of us, and so I appreciate that. And then we have an organization we'll reveal later. Great. But this event is open to the community. I think it's going to only cost maybe $10.
Oh my God.
Or maybe it won't even cost. We haven't decided yet. But anyways, there'll be information on our website. You can always call us up if you're interested in attending, get tickets, and have a nice breakfast, get a little update on what's happening in the mental health world in our community and in our state. And,
well, March is a busy month, like every month is busy for you. But a couple dates to remember is the Run for Recovery in May.
May 9th.
And
March 14th.
March 14th, the
Leprechaun
Loop.
And other than that, those are our March dates that we have to remember, I think.
Deb Johnson.
But that's it.
Always a pleasure.
It is.
Now that I understand you're going to be a pianist, so...
yeah, I need to get home and practice.
Go home and practice. I'll let you do that.
Thank you.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingeman. See you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.